Hey guys, I've been going through the cast HRSs. Those of you who have viewed my previous videos may remember that the majority of them were locked up when I got them, or possibly all of them, I don't remember. I think they were either all locked up or all but one, and the one was really stiff. But regardless, some of them were locked up worse than others. Some of them were locked up so tight that there was no movement whatsoever. Some moved maybe a fraction of an inch, and that was it. So I've been working on getting the bearings freed up. I've been trying to do this without opening the fans. I don't want to do a full-on bearing replacement if I don't have to. And so I've been giving them the good old WD-40, which you've seen in some of my previous videos how to do. As you know, WD-40 will free up the bearings and knock the rust out of them and loosen them up. But depending on how bad a shape the bearings were in to begin with, they won't be quiet. And sometimes you can add oil that will make them quieter. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. So if what you want is a fan that will run like new, sometimes you have no choice but to replace the bearings. For me, well, right now I have no plans to install these anywhere, but I don't want them to sit locked up. It's more than enough for me. I did also dust the bottoms of them. If you've watched my previous videos, you know what that means. That means I clean the bottom of it, I scrub it with steel wool, clean it with Totally Awesome, and then give it a very thin coat of spray paint to mask some of the scuffs and scratches. I haven't even cleaned the rest of the fan, to be honest. The top is still caked with dirt, the bottom has been painted. That's kind of strange, but that's what I did. And I'm using the same set of blades on each one because I haven't gone through the blades yet. In all honesty, I don't even remember what I did with the blades. They're sitting in a pile here somewhere, but I can't even remember where. So I got the amp meter here. Got the 4-speed control. I got a wooden bench here instead of the cardboard box, which hopefully will be a lot better. The cardboard box was causing some issues, and the great thing about a bench is I can pinch the wires in it to keep it from escaping. So we'll see how that goes. This is the first video with the new bench. So let's go to low. Forgot to look at the amp meter. It's pretty slow. And it looks like it might just stall out. Nope, but it's got a weak spot there, which could be a burr in the bearing, or it could be a dead spot in the rotor or the stator. Let's go. I'm sure that low speed will be a little bit better after it runs on high for a while. It's not run on high at all yet. I plugged the motor in when I put it up there just to make sure I had juice, but that wasn't even with blades on. I hear a little bit of a bearing noise. It's not the wet bearing noise, it's like something like a metal piece that's caught almost. Nope, now I'm starting to hear some wet bearing noise. For those familiar with my videos, wet bearing noise is what happens when you clean and oil a bearing with thinner oil than what it's designed for, i.e. WD-40 and whatnot. You hear metal on metal. It still turns smoothly, and it's not the dry bearing squeals that are just painful. But, yeah. So let's go medium-high. Yeah, there's definitely some more dry and dirty bearing noise you're hearing there. See, is that the top bearing or the bottom bearing? That's the top. The wet bearing noise is coming from the bottom bearing, but the dry bearing noise is coming from the top. If you put your ear close to the bottom of the fan, you can usually tell whether or not the noise is coming from the bottom. Let's go to high, 1.35. like that noise is going anywhere. Okay, let's let it spin down. Now, it has been pretty thoroughly WD-40'd, so the fact that the bearings are still noisy is saying something. It would just really take a lot of TLC with oil and WD-40, or opening it up and replacing the bearings. I don't plan on doing either one right now. One of these is getting sent to another collector. At least one. I don't know if he wants more than one, and I don't know if I'm going to part with more than one, but I definitely promised him one. So, that one, depending on the timing, I might take some time to really try to make the bearings as quiet as I can, because it probably will get used sooner than mine will. Again, all it is, unless you're going to actually replace the bearings, which I'm not going to do, all it is just spraying the WD-40, letting it work in, squirting it with oil, letting it work in, repeat. And if you're going to do it without opening it, because technically they are sealed bearings, you waste a lot of oil, because probably 75% of the oil, probably even more than that, is not going to make its way to the bearings. You know, so that's what you got to do. You can see some of the oil starting to drip out on the sides of the motor there. That wasn't there when we started the video. Let me get a rag. No, because it's spinning down. You guys like to see the spin down. Okay. So, let's try it again with the infinitely variable control. This will be my first time trying to swap controls with the new system, so let's see how easy that is. I got tired of that bench, and this isn't a bench, the cardboard box. So hopefully this is an improvement. Okay, let's go all the way to 0. We're at 0.1, 0.9, and it is going to stop. So let's inch up. I'm going to go to 0.2 because I doubt it's going to start before then. Nope. 5, still nothing. 6, 8, 3, 5, 4. It's silent though. Well, we started, so let's drop back some. And now we're going. I guess the bearings are still a little stiff. Let's see if I stop it by hand, will it start of its own accord? It will, and that's at 0.3. So we'll leave it there. Just turn 1/8 of a turn, which brings us to about 0.44. 1/8 of a turn, which brings us to 0.69. Eighth of a turn, which brings us to 1.0. shunned. Let us complete our journey high, which was right around 1.3. We're up to speed and we're down to 1.11, 1.10. And we're off. So yeah, this one won't be my favorite, but I'll probably video one more tonight. I got, I was telling somebody earlier, I've gotten all of them freed up except for one. And the one that isn't yet freed up is stuck solid. But one of the other ones that was stuck solid, I hadn't touched. And I had put some WD-40 in it and, you know, tried to work it loose without actually taking it apart, and wasn't able to get it to move at all, not even the slightest bit. It was just stuck solid. And then I let it sit the whole while I was doing the EnviroFan project, and came back to it, and it freed up considerably. So the one that stuck solid, I'm just going to give it plenty of WD-40 and let it sit for a few weeks and see how that develops. These had to be pretty good fans when they were new. Cast iron, they move a lot of air. Blades are a little thin, but they're aluminum. Only downside to them is that they draw a considerable amount of current compared to other similar fans. So that probably means more heat, and that probably means a premature demise. Okay, well that's it for this one. I'm going to see how many more I can film tonight. Thanks for watching.